I remember when he was in college, I was first aware of him, and Wilt competed for the University of Kansas in the shot put, the quarter mile, and the high jump.
Unbelievable.
You know? And I thought, well, who is this guy?
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone, and good afternoon to you. Hope y'all are staying cool out there. I sure as hell am not over here. I wanted to check out this video. One, it was suggested to me, and two, to fit the theme of this summer, which is let's talk about some guys who don't get talked about enough. So this one is Wilt Chamberlain versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the rivalry of NBA gods. And this is brought to you by Fuba Sports. I recently did a video, I reacted to a video from Fubas, and it was great. That was just a couple of days ago, so, or was it yesterday? I can't remember anymore. Anyways, always a fan, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out with you guys. Not much to say about it, except for, like, I'm just curious, like, where do you guys have Kareem versus Wilt in your rankings? Because I've got Kareem above Wilt. And it's not so much like on an individual level, but it's like an achievement type of thing. But also on an individual level, because Kareem was a badass on his own. But like I've always talked about, Wilt is that guy that's just difficult for me to figure out and to like fully understand. So, I mean, good thing is, here's another video. And I'm sure by the end of this, I'll know a little bit more and I'll understand a little bit more about these guys. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you guys if you want to check it out or check out the channel, which I highly recommend. And also you'll see a list of channel members in there. Shout out to each and every one of you. Guys, like the video. Let's do this. Excuse me.
Jabbar. And Happy Hairston goes down hard, and Jabbar is hot.
And I must say this now, and I never said it publicly before. I respected Kareem.
And Richie Powers steps in very quickly between Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You didn't hate him, and he didn't hate you.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I had a lot of respect for him.
He has known you since he's 14 years old.
As a teenager in New York City, Alcindor had looked up to Wilt.
I remember when he was in college, I was first aware of him, and Wilt competed for the University of Kansas in the shot put, the quarter mile, and the high jump.
Unbelievable.
You know? And I thought, well, who is this guy?
Right?
Must be Superman. I saw him play. I was in grade school and high school. I saw him average 50 points a game. I saw him play a number of times that year.
I befriended Kareem when he was young, and I think he liked me, and we did a lot of things together.
Wilt was literally bigger than life, you know. I'd see him a lot, you know, because he hung out up in Harlem, observed his lifestyle. Wow.
You befriended him. You showed him the ropes. You literally gave him the shirt off your back. You used to give him your own clothes. Took him to the Latin Quarter in New York once upon a time.
He kind of like took me under his wing. He's my hero.
Did you play with Wilt at that time? Like, ever play basketball with him?
Wilt would come to the gym up in Harlem, and he used to lift up there, and sometimes I'd go in there with him.
I never taught
Wow.
Kareem a thing about basketball.
We'd play horse. I used to beat him in horse.
Why aren't you guys closer?
Well, I would say that, athletes are really tough people they have a lot of pride, you understand? They're very, very competitive, and him and I are natural rivals.
Everybody said that as a center.
That's crazy. So they were friends, but he never got mentored by Wilt. I would have expected a little bit of mentorship, but I guess that's not the way the friendship played out.
I wasn't going to make it in basketball because I was not a big bruising type like Wilt.
People pit us against each other. Why? I don't know. It was a different game than I ever played.
That's when things more or less went south.
And I think it was more from Kareem's side. Again, as the competitor, he's the guy that I got to take out. He's the guy that I got to surpass. He's the guy that I got to beat.
Kareem was the young lion coming up to take all of Wilt's records, and Wilt wasn't going to let it happen.
The 1971 Western Conference Finals.
The Battle of the Giants. The 12-year veteran Wilt Chamberlain
Wilt is 4 months from his 35th birthday.
against the second-year pro Alcindor. At 24 years of age, Lou had led the Bucks to the best record in the NBA, had been named the league's most valuable player, and was the scoring champion.
Whether he will admit it or not, he wanted to try to prove to himself and to the world that he was a better scorer than Wilt Chamberlain.
You know, I wanted to see if I could challenge the success of Wilt Chamberlain.
What is a better way to prove it than when you go head-to-head against that guy is to outscore him.
Yeah, true.
Wilt versus Kareem.
So it seems to be established that they were friends until they became rivals. And then there's just nothing you can do about it because they're both gunning for the same position.
This is Hollywood script.
That was supposed to be this big showdown. Oh, let's see how, Lou Alcindor is going to do against the great Wilt Chamberlain.
And I did very well.
He got several thrown down on him. In 1971, when we won the World Championship.
Love it. He presented to me for the first time in my career of basketball a guy that I felt, at least at my state at that time, that I really needed some help to guard.
A torn
Wow, that is a big statement.
in the 1969-70 season sidelines Wilt for almost the entire year.
When I started playing against him, he was past his prime as an offensive player.
By my third year in the league, I was wearing Wilt out, and he retired.
Damn, dude, that's ice cold.
Wilt Chamberlain and Lou Alcindor, the game's Old and New Testament.
The Old and New Testament.
Unstoppable weapon in the history of the NBA.
Who blocked that shot?
Wilt got one or two when I was a rookie, and then he never got another.
It's the prettiest shot that I've ever seen in my life.
I tell you one thing, you can't guard it. You just couldn't guard it.
Chamberlain has 8. He blocked the shot, but Lou keeps it back. That's the third block for Chamberlain.
Again.
He blocks another one. That time he got the hook shot.
That's one of the finest defensive plays I've ever seen in basketball.
Damn.
I blocked 3 of this guy hooked.
Yeah, you got to be tall enough and jump high enough and just time that perfectly. But Wilt studied.
In a row.
2 of the greatest ever, just head-to-head.
Watching
I would
Wilt
have loved to watch this live. I would. This sounds great.
and Kareem duel one-on-one was phenomenal. It was fun to watch those guys back in against each other.
The Big Dipper put on quite a show.
Dude, look
I
at
had
these
to go to the board
blocks.
harder, and I had to try to run harder and do some things that were a little bit different and see how he would handle me defensively.
Chamberlain had another great game, and the appreciative Wisconsin Rooters gave the Dipper one of his sincerest, most impressive ovations he had received in his career. He said he was overwhelmed.
Jabbar had one big problem, and I might have been his problem. I think he feels as though maybe I was the guy who's standing in the way of true immortality for him.
Wilt had a big ego, and he started taking shots at me. And when that happened, I didn't like it, and I let him know about it.
Kareem, in his book, wrote an open letter to Wilt.
Jeez. You guys see that?
Kareem.
Jeez. Chumper lame.
In his book,
Wow.
wrote an open letter to Wilt Chamberlain, and says, I, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, am going to be remembered for having contributed to teams. And Wilt's going to be remembered as an individual who didn't contribute to teams and was a whiner and a crybaby.
And a quitter.
And a quitter. Okay. That's what Kareem said.
In my criticism of Kareem, I would say 9 positive things about Kareem. I think a great deal of his ability on the basketball court, the greatest offensive force I had ever seen. When I played against him, he was the greatest scorer I've ever seen. Like if I had to go to someone in the last play game, give it to Kareem. He wants it, he does well with it. If you had to have anybody to end the game, take Kareem. The 10th thing I may say is that, but I don't think he rebounds very well.
You still talk about Kareem as the guy that just doesn't...
Wow. So he listed 9 positives and 1 negative. Interesting.
do it for the rebounds.
I don't think he's really doing the job there that he could do, and he should do. Headlines the next day is Wilt criticized Kareem for not doing his job, rebounding.
But he can still go out there and do it scoring-wise on his guys who, you know, should be killing him.
Into Kareem, he turns to the right, he's underneath, he puts it up and in, a power play against Olajuwon. Here's the ball to Kareem, dribble around Olajuwon, slam dunk in the reverse. Scott down the middle of Kareem. He really defused them at the other end. Down the middle of Kareem, a hook shot of 8 is good. Magic with it, into Kareem, so is this hook shot of 10, that's good.
Yeah, that's a young Hakeem Olajuwon on him, by the way.
Just get it, that's right, he can do it all the way to Kareem for the slam dunk. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has got 40 points.
You miss Kareem?
Well, I miss not seeing him out there.
He was a great player.
Oh, no question, the greatest.
Hakeem Olajuwon out to get Jordan. Jordan for 3, blocked by Olajuwon, and Hakeem takes it to end the game.
Damn.
The Rockets beating them again, and it's long after the game, and Michael's putting his shoes on, and we're just chatting, and he says, it's a good thing they can't ever get out of the West. And I said, why is that? He says, because we got no answer for that big monster.
It's true. It's true. MJ and Pippen, they're not guarding him. I've always wondered that. Who the hell would guard Hakeem Olajuwon? I don't know. We're talking about the first repeat here. Like, not Bill Cartwright. That was not going to happen. Not at that age.
I don't know that we can beat.
I have to believe there's every part of you that says you're as impactful or better.
The real question becomes, well, if nobody can guard Hakeem and nobody can guard MJ, which team's better? Because that's really what it's going to come down to. Those two are going to cancel each other out, and then it's up to the other 4 guys. Which team is going to bring it home?
Than anybody else who's ever played the game.
I think so.
What did Kareem do better than you? That you will acknowledge.
Wait.
There's every part of you that says
that big monster. I don't know that we can beat.
I have to believe there's every part of you that says you're as impactful or better than anybody else who's ever played the game.
I think so.
What did Kareem do better than you? That you will acknowledge, because he's going to see this now. What did he do that was better than you?
In the facets of the game, did he score better than I did? Did he rebound better? Did he pass better than I did? Did he run better than I did?
I don't know.
Hard for me to figure out.
It's into Kareem.
Is he just blowing steam up his ass at that point? Because I know Wilt doesn't believe that. He's a better scorer, better runner, better rebounder, because he's already said he thinks that Kareem should rebound more. So I think he's just blowing some steam there. But yeah, and also this coming from a guy who averaged 50 points a game for an entire season.
Right hand 12-footer, good! The new king of scoring has ascended his throne.
I always forget how cool he did that with a skyhook.
Was conscious about thinking about, is anyone going to break this record? I'd have probably put that record way out of sight.
Off the court, he had to had to absorb all the light. There was no light for anybody else. It was all about Wilt. And he was just that type of guy.
Wilt Chamberlain, for whatever reason, was jealous of Kareem. And Wilt...
I mean, everything I hear, it sounds like LeBron James. And I don't know if it's just because there's bad blood here, but same thing when I hear Bill Russell, even though they were friends, the way Bill Russell was talking about him when they had a little bit of a grudge was just that he's all about himself and he's not about the team. Like I said, I wish I could have seen these seasons so I could really feel the narrative.
Never missed an opportunity to attack Kareem in print.
What about Kareem's skills now, Will? Where do they stand?
I think they've diminished a great deal. I think maybe the man should have retired about 5 years ago.
I knew I wasn't going to get a job with that kind of salary if I quit. So, why quit?
Fair enough.
He's out there making $3 million a game. I'm making absolutely nothing. So I really can't talk about him, except I think it's time for him to join me. But I never really went to his measure to talk about, quitter. I mean, I played in games and situations where I'm sure a great many athletes would never play.
Tonight, Wilt Chamberlain will come on the floor. His right wrist so sore he cannot really grip the basketball.
Wilt knew that he was the guy on the team that we looked up to, that he was the guy that was going to help us win.
There have been times when I really wondered how the man could play with a backbone in his hand, because he is a right-hander, and he's got to use it. Yes, he does.
A lot of people don't realize that he actually, he really did sacrifice.
Wilt is not looking to score. He's looking mainly to pass the ball off, to rebound, and play the good defense. So he can kind of get away with it without worrying about the fractured bone in his hand.
We have to contain, each individual to a certain extent, but we'll have to go out there for the team, and that's what is on my mind. It's just what we can do best to stop their team.
I had the privilege, when I was in college at UCLA, to see Wilt go head-to-head with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar courtside when I'm 17, 18, 19 years old. Oh my gosh.
Man, guys, sensing the mic. Who out there has actually witnessed this? Who's like the ultra old head out there who's watching this that actually got to witness this? Because I'm a little jealous. This rivalry must have been great.
Of the moment and understanding the precarious nature of
considering that it's one young man versus one old man, like legacies like on the line, like this just seems fantastic to watch.
Game 7, the veteran Lakers captain chose this moment to stand before his team.
Wilt called the team meeting.
He said, listen, I've always been the best center in the league. I was better than Russell, but Russell had the best teammates and Russell won. Now, this young kid, Jabbar, is the best center in the league.
We, the Lakers, had a better supporting cast than what Kareem had. Let's get this thing over with right now. The sooner the better. Don't give them any more hope.
That was Riley there, by the way. Did you see?
The sooner the better.
That's Pat Riley right there.
Give them any more hope.
Jabbar against Chamberlain, goes with a hook. Gets it in there. Wilt Chamberlain. Fine move by Jabbar. They try to go inside. Wilt took it away from him. Chamberlain gets the ball. Nice play. Goes to Jabbar, jumps it up over Wilt. Wilt blocks it.
So this was a big deal, hearing what Wilt said. Basically, he's saying, listen, this guy's better than me right now, but we're a better team. So he's challenging the team to step up. That's actually some good leadership right there.
Jabbar again working against Wilt. That time Wilt got a piece of him and fouled him. Chamberlain trying to give it to somebody. Gail Goodrich.
Nice shot.
In it goes to Abdul-Jabbar. Chamberlain spoiled it. Good defensive play by Wilt. Jabbar.
Good God,
over
look at him.
Won't go. Tips it in. Abdul-Jabbar.
And Kareem doesn't care. You can block him 10 times. He's still coming back.
Gets it in there.
This is awesome.
Jim McMillan gets his cut off.
Nate.
Here is Abdul-Jabbar inside against Chamberlain. He got it.
In the fourth quarter, Wilt just took over the game.
Jabbar against Wilt, batted away by Wilt. Chamberlain takes the ball.
Wilt came to play.
He just beat up Jabbar.
Wilt's there, puts it up, and in. Chamberlain, basket counts, foul.
Wilt Chamberlain getting instruction from Sharman and Jones how to play Jabbar, and these driving Jabbar crazy.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gives it to Bobby Sanders.
He's blocking everything.
Great play by Chamberlain.
Up until this point, it's a standoff between the guys in the middle. I don't know what the statistics are.
Yeah, so it's another one of those situations. These guys are canceling each other out. It's up to the rest of the team.
Being chased by Chamberlain. Chamberlain knocks it away. A beautiful defensive play by Wilt.
Wilt backing in, underneath.
Slam dunk, Wilt Chamberlain. In it goes for Jabbar. Chamberlain takes it away. Wilt went over the line. It'll go to Milwaukee. Jabbar missed it. Curtis Perry, a mile high. Chamberlain cleared. 1 minute to go. Chamberlain muscles in and a whistle and a foul. He is not a great threat.
9 block shots.
Wilt said, I am going to make sure that we win.
Had a score of about 8 or 10 points in 2 or 3 minutes to give us a chance to win the game.
The Lakers look like they got a cinch win. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. The game's over. The Lakers have won. They beat Milwaukee 4 out of 6.
Chamberlain had made good on his word. leading the Lakers past the defending champion Bucks and landing Los Angeles in the finals once more.
He's met every challenge. He's crossed every bridge. The Los Angeles Lakers are the world champions of basketball.
If you guys were both in the prime, wouldn't that have been a great thing? How would it have been a backyard one-on-one?
I'm too strong for Kareem. And if you're going to go one-on-one, you take it to the basket.
But suppose you had a sky hook. Whoa.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, this. Guys, we'll just casually skyhooking threes.
I'm going to tell you something. Fans just looked, you didn't miss by that much. You just see me make 2 in a row. No, I had to step one fast. There you go. $5. I just paid the last 3 of them.
Wait. Is that MJ?
There you go. $5.
That sounds like Michael Jordan.
I just paid the last 3 of them. I don't care. This is the one I'm talking about for $5.
Oh, never mind.
Get it up.
Anyways, Michael Jordan would have been a baby.
I would have also loved to have a chance to play against Kareem when I was scoring 50 points a game.
And that's why I love sports. Wow, he's got a lot of stuff on these guys. Very interesting. Okay. Wow, what a video. I wasn't expecting it to be that intense, but that was really, really cool. I don't know what I learned on this one, except for, because I did know that these guys were friends. Obviously, I thought Wilt was more of like a mentor, but it looks like they were actually just like buddies, you know? But then they ended up being rivals, and there was a lot of bad blood between them. I don't think they ever made up, because Bill Russell and Wilt ended up making up, later on, and they were like best buds again. But I don't think that ever happened with Kareem and Wilt. So I think that stayed bad blood forever. But yeah, man, it's a hard thing to see, because I can relate to both of them. Being the young up and coming, young man who's trying to prove himself, Kareem, and then being the older guy who's trying to say like, hey, I'm still here. Like if you want what I have, you have to take it from me, kind of thing. And it just seems like I just walk away from this going like 100%. I wish I got to witness some of this, because this seemed like some great basketball, just with 2 titans going at it, down in the middle. And then it's all about the rest of the team, who's gonna step up to support their star, kind of situation. But anyways, you guys, I'd love to hear your insights. Anybody who's seen any of this footage live or anything like that, however it played out back then. I know there was tape delay and all that. But if any of you guys got to see some of it, I'd love to hear your comments. Anybody else, just with any additional info you have, I'd appreciate that as well. Let's make it like an informative comment section this time, just to put together some knowledge that we all share, or that we all have, that we can share with each other, and kind of build a consensus. Because, like I said, Wilt is so hard for me to understand. He really is. Kareem a lot easier, because I did get to see the last years of his career, at least. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more footage of him playing, and it also relates more to the era of basketball that I got into. So anyways, guys, I'll see you in the comments. I appreciate you all watching with me. These ones are like very low view videos, Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem. They don't bring in a lot. So like everybody who's here and everyone who's going to be in the comments, like it's going to be like some real hardcore basketball fans in these comments. So it's gonna be a cool comment section, you guys. So anyways, you guys, I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And heck, check out Fuba Sports. Link is down below in the description if you want to check out this channel. I think I need to get a little deeper in this channel. I don't know what you guys think, but anyways, most importantly is to be water, my friends. Speaking of water, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fought Bruce Lee in Game of Death, right? And that was wild, because Bruce Lee was actually training Kareem for a while there. Anyways, that's Bruce Lee. So be water, my friends.